transgender. Get ready with me while I talk about being transgender. So a lot of people were confused why I didn't look like a boy. When I was 13, I got on a hormone blocker, which stopped me from going through any male puberty. That's why I don't have a mustache, a beard, or an Adam's apple. Every trans person looks different, just like every other person looks different. So when I was like 14 or 15, I went on estrogen, so all of my secondary sex characteristics are female. I did get a lot of questions asking if I still could have biological children. My body never created anything like that. I can't. It was a really hard decision for me to make, but I wasn't willing to put my body through male puberty for kids. That was also one of the hardest things for my mom to let me do because she didn't know how I'd feel about it when I was older. We had a long conversation about it with my doctor and she ultimately let me decide. Even though I was young, she knew that I was making the best decision for me. It was a really hard decision for me to make, but I decided that I wasn't gonna have biological children if it meant I had to father them. I do want children and I do want to be a mom someday, but my mother always told me that I didn't need to have biological kids to be a mom. A lot of women can't get pregnant, including my other grandma, and that doesn't make her any less of a woman, and it doesn't make me one either. I am going to be a mom someday. That just means it might be through surrogacy or adoption. Some people in the comments were saying that they would have never known because I'm prettier than them and they're a real girl. You might think that's a compliment, but it's not because you're saying that I'm not a real girl. I am a real girl. My experience is just different than most, and that's okay. I do get a lot of hate comments about being trans, and I never really address them, mainly because a lot of you guys have my back in the comments and argue with them. It's really weird to me how some people leave hate comments as if that's gonna make me change my entire life. No matter what you guys say, I'm always gonna be a girl. This is always gonna be my life. It doesn't really affect me. I mean, I do think it's really embarrassing that some of you guys care so much to leave awful comments, but that's embarrassing for you, not me. I'm always gonna use the girls' bathroom. I'm always gonna be referred to as she, and if that makes you guys mad, I'm sorry, but you really can't change that. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Alright, so it really doesn't matter what you think you are, right? Because you're still whatever that you were born with, right? Nobody's being mean, nobody's bullying, but the audacity for you to say that you're a real woman, that you're not a real woman. I can say I'm a cat. Does it mean I'm a cat? It doesn't. And I'm so tired of the narrative of everybody hiding behind this, because I know I've worked extra hard to maintain, to be a woman, right? Nobody's putting you down, but you are tripping. And it's sad because your mom allowed you to get and to take hormones at that age. That's wild to me. That's wild. I don't think your brain's not even developed until you're like 25. Why would anybody allow their child to make a major decision in your life like that? I mean, think about it. That's why we don't let kids get tattoos. Think about it. Certain things we might not want later in life. And it's wild how people, when you say something about that, it's like you turn into the villain. I don't have anything against transgender people, but you are what you are. And you cannot say that you are me, because you're not. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Sorry.
The one thing that we could do, the very small thing that we could do, is have a little bit of courage and decide that we are going to reinstitute this particular subcommittee, because unfortunately, I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today and just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country, to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in. And with that, I will yield.
Mr. Chairman.
Ladies, time's expired. Any membership recognition?
Yes.
Mr. Higgins? Oh, Ms. Mace was first. I'm sorry, Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I don't know what's going on today. I find it extremely rich and offensive. So we're talking about civil rights. I'm the former ranking member on the Civil Rights Subcommittee, something I believe in civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. And we were talking about infringement of individual people. Also, quote, the right to privacy of individuals. Coming from a party that can't define what a woman is and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms. And it's so hypocritical for you to sit here and say, and be, screaming from the rooftops about the right to privacy and civil rights when you don't respect women. And you don't respect women who've been raped, women who are victims of sexual abuse. And you want me, a victim of rape, a survivor of rape, to go into a locker room and be forced to undress in front of a man? You have to be effing kidding me. So I don't want to hear about you talk about rights, individual rights, civil rights, because you can't find the courage from the 60s to fight for women all around America, fight for women like me, every single woman. And as a rape survivor, I shouldn't have to explain to you why women have rights and why women, when we're in the bathroom, when we're in the locker room, when we're in a dressing room, why I don't feel safe when there is a man nearby. And the fact that we're going here and we're going to say all these things is the ripeness of hypocrisy on the Hill. People need to tell the truth. And if we're going to talk about the rights of individuals, we have to talk about it. Everybody has rights, including women. And at some point, men are infringing on the rights of women. We just had it today. We just had a vote about protecting women and girls in sports. And I believe it wasn't one. It was 2 people from the Democrat Party who voted to protect women's rights in sports today. 2. So this is, Mr. Chairman, this is a deeply offensive conversation to me today. We want to talk about real freedom. Women have freedom in this country. Women have the freedom to go to a private women's only space and not see a man in it. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender, we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation, you're doing it in your messaging, you're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country, even greater than they've...
You can see, fellas, be careful. They got some good hormones out there. You don't want to get caught up. What do y'all think? Do you think that they should have a right to use any bathroom? And I don't want to get into this is bullying or any type of thing like that, because this is not what this is about. People have a right to choose who they want in their bathroom. Nobody's trying to tell you what to do. I got the right, though, to choose if I don't want somebody in my bathroom. So do my children. So what do you think? Do you think that Jazmine Crockett is in the wrong? What do you think? Let me know.